Students, welcome to my YouTube channel Akshara Alaya. Today we are going to discuss about the chapter Crop Production and Management, which is a chapter in Class 8 Science subject. As we all know, humans can't produce their own food as they are heterotrophs. They should be dependent on other sources from the plants and animals. Agriculture or crop production and management is one of the method to produce food from plants and having them as a nutritional source. In this presentation, the contents are agricultural practices which involve preparation of soil for the production of food, sowing of seeds, adding manure and fertilizers to improve soil quality and enhance the plant growth, irrigation to supply the demand of the water from the plants, protecting the crop from the weeds, harvesting of the crop outcomes and storage of the crop outcomes for the longer period of time. Food from animals is the last topic which we are going to discuss. From the time immemorial, the human have involved in agricultural practices. When the plants of same kind are cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called crop. Crops are nothing but the growth of plant. To get the yield out of that using the methods is called crop or agricultural practices. As we know, India is a vast country. The climatic conditions like temperature, humidity, rainfall vary from one region to another. As the region varies, as the parameters vary, the crop grown will be different. But in a simple ways, they can be classified into two types: kharif crops and rabi crops. Kharif crops are the crops which are sown in rainy season that usually terms from June to September. For example, paddy, maize, soya bean, groundnut and cotton are grown during these times, and rabi crops that are in winter season ranging from October to March. The example for these are wheat, gram, brie, mustard and linseed. As the crops are of different types, the basic practices of crop production are preparation of soil, which is required for sowing of seeds, and the sowing of seeds is followed by adding manure and fertilizer to improve the soil quality. And for the growth of plants, water is required, which is given by irrigation, and the growth of plants is protected from the weeds of other species, and harvesting of the outcomes of the crop and storage of that crop for the longer period of time. Preparation of soil is important to loosen the soil. What loosening of soil will help the plant growth? It helps in root penetration. The root hairs or root will grow deeper into the soil, and also it helps in breathing of roots, growth of microbes and earthworm. As we know, microbes and earthworm supply nutrients to the plants. Growth of the microbes and earthworm is an important factor. Mineral, water and air absorption is from the roots. The loosening of soil will help in mineral and water absorption. As we know, access of decomposed material, that is humus or any manure, needs loosened soil. This process of loosening and the turning of soil is called tilling or plowing. Plowed field may have big clumps like soil called crumbs. Crumbs are nothing but a rockened form of soil. They are tilled or plowed and loosened to various processes such as sowing and irrigation. Leveling of field is beneficial for sowing. As the field is leveled, the sowing becomes easy and the supply of water or irrigation becomes easy. Leveling of soil is done by help of leveler, and in this preparation of soil, manure or fertilizers can also be used, as it improves the mixing of the manure or fertilizer during the preparation of soil. We can see here I am showing the images of plow, hoe and other. You can see the straight plow shaft which is attached to plowshare. This region will go into the soil here and it will loosen the soil from this region. And hoe has a bent plate which will go into the soil as same as plowshare and loosen the soil. The oxes were used in olden days, and in some parts of India they are still in use. But in modern agriculture, tractors and tillers are used to improve the work efficiency, and we need less labor or less cattle to cultivate the soil. So nowadays these plow or hoes are connected to tractor or tiller and used in agricultural fields. As you all know, the growing of plants needs sowing of seeds. Before sowing of seeds, we should select the seeds which are of good quality. This is done in a simpler method. When you put seeds in water, some seeds will float, some seeds will settle down in the water. The seeds which will settle down are healthy and can be used for sowing, but the seeds which are floating will be discarded, as those seeds will be empty, they will float on water, they will be discarded from this process. And the selected seeds will be sowed in a traditional methods using a funnel like this, which will straight go into the pit which is created by plow, or the modern methods use seed drill, which will have many seed drills which will enter seeds in appropriate distances with appropriate depth, and they will also have mechanism to cover the soil upon the seed to improve the chances of germination. Appropriate distance is important for the seeds, as the plant should get enough sunlight and enough space to spread their roots and leaves. If they are overcrowded, there will be competition between the plants and they will not be able to grow properly. You have seen in rice fields and areca nut plantations, there will be a certain distance between one plant to another to avoid the overcrowding, and also the appropriate distance also helps in control of pests and diseases. As there is a distance between two plants, there will be control in spreading of disease and pests. So maintaining appropriate distance between seeds is necessary, as it enhances the plant growth and protects the plants from spreading of diseases, and it gives access to all the nutrients, water and sunlight which are required for plant growth. During sowing or after the sowing of the growth of plants will be followed by adding manure or fertilizers. Manure is a natural product which we get from the decomposition of materials. You can also try to produce manure by decomposing the vegetable peels, fruit peels, or degradable materials can be put down into soil and allowed to degrade. You can use that degraded materials as a manure for the plants, and this degradation can be added with the cow dung, which improves the fertility. So the substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. As we know, continuous cultivation of crops in the same soil or same field makes the soil poor in nutrients. As we take out the food from same plate, the plate will be empty. As like that, the agriculture fields will be empty in nutrients if we use them again and again for crop production. So manure is used to impart the nutritional availability, and fertilizers are different from manures, as fertilizers are chemical compounds which are rich in particular nutrition. The example for fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, and nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. NPK is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These are used in agriculture field. They can't be applied directly. They are diluted in water according to the proportion given or prescribed, and they are sprayed or distributed manually throughout the field. The crop rotation is method of changing the crop from one season to another season or one term to another term. This will help absorption of nutrients of different plants from different sources. For example, pulses can absorb more nitrogen. We can shift it with other crop which has less nitrogen demand. So we can grow both the crops in the same field to avoid the depletion of nutrients. Rhizobium is an example for microorganism which fixes the atmospheric nitrogen to the soil. As we know, the nitrogen is present in air. It can't be accessed by plants as it is in gaseous form. This rhizobium will fix the atmospheric nitrogen, that is gaseous nitrogen, to absorbable form. It will absorb the atmospheric nitrogen using nitrogenase enzyme, and it will supply it to the plants. And in part of giving back, plants will provide shelter for this rhizobium. Rhizobium produces nodules, that means nodule-like formation in root part of plants, that is specifically legumes, for the production and supply of nitrogen to the plants. Nowadays there is use of biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are nothing but the fertilizers which are rich in such microbes like rhizobium, azotobacter, etc., which provide nutrients, and those biofertilizers does not have side effect like fertilizers. As fertilizers are made up of chemicals, they can pollute the water sources and soil sources and can be toxic to the humans when taken in larger extent, but biofertilizers do not have such side effects. The difference between the fertilizers and manures are given below. Fertilizers is a man-made inorganic salt, and manure is natural substance which is produced by decomposition of material like cow dung and other agricultural waste. Fertilizer is produced in factories as it is done by using chemicals. Manure can be prepared in fields. As I have said before, you can also try in your homes to produce manures and put it to plants. Fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil as they have only containing chemicals. Manure provides lot of humus. Humus is nothing but it provides lot of humidity or moisture level to the soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients as they are concentrated in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Manure are relatively less rich in plants as they have diverse range of nutrients except nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They are relatively less rich in particular concentration, but they are more diverse when compared to fertilizers.